Everyone's talking about a no-deal Brexit, so what exactly does it mean? Essentially, the UK would leave the European Union without any formal agreement. That means the things that were supposed to be sorted out before the UK leaves won't be. So no deal on how the Irish border might operate after Brexit, one of the most sensitive issues in the whole process. No deal on guaranteeing the rights of UK citizens in the EU and EU citizens in the UK. And no deal on the money the UK had agreed to pay the EU to settle its financial obligations. With no deal, there'd also be no transition period, during which the UK and the EU were meant to negotiate a trade deal for the future. Instead, all the rules and regulations that have governed the UK's relationship with the rest of Europe for nearly 50 years would disappear overnight, without very much to replace them. For example, the UK's ability to trade completely freely with its neighbours would come to an end. The government's own internal planning documents said there could be very long queues at borders, leading, certainly in the short run, to shortages of some food and medical supplies. Security links would also suffer. The police would no longer have access to European criminal databases, and vice versa. Now, the EU has agreed a series of measures to provide some continuity in case of a no-deal Brexit, among them making sure planes can continue to fly and British buses and coaches still have permission to cross the Channel. But these are things the EU has decided to do on its own without consulting the UK. They're not mini deals. In fact, they're pretty limited in scope and they are only temporary. Sooner rather than later, talks to sort it all out would have to begin again. Now, supporters of a no-deal Brexit say that's all fine, and the UK would have billions of extra pounds to spend, money which would have had to be given to the EU if the UK left with a deal. But opponents say the shock to the economy of a no-deal Brexit would cost far more than any savings. And anyway, once talks with the EU did start again, that issue of money would be one of the first items on the agenda. The government says it just wants to get Brexit done. It wants a deal, but it is prepared to leave without one if it has to. It's really difficult though to predict exactly what might happen in the event of no deal, because no modern industrialised economy has ever tried to do anything quite like this before. But if no deal were to happen, it wouldn't be the end of arguments over the UK's relationship with the EU. In fact, the hard part would be still to come.